Hey, welcome. So today, we're going to dive into a single, really powerful concept from Chapter 4 of Alan R. Scott's book, The Buddha's Lost Art of Gaam-Node. It's this idea that might just be the missing element we've all been looking for when it comes to inner clarity. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with something I'm sure you felt. You see yourself doing that thing you always do. Maybe it's snapping at someone, or you find yourself endlessly scrolling again. You are totally aware that it's happening. You know better, but you just feel stuck, powerless to stop it. So the question is, why? Why isn't just seeing the pattern enough to actually change it?
You know, the book just hits the nail on the head with this quote. It's so validating, right? It basically says, yeah, that feeling is real. Just passively being aware of our reactive habits or negative thoughts often isn't a strong enough defense. The intruders, they still get past the gate.
And that's because, as the book points out, our awareness is missing something. There's a crucial, active ingredient that's just not there. It's not enough to just stand there and watch the intruders approach. You need something to actually guard the threshold of your mind.
So what you need isn't just more awareness. It's not about trying harder to be aware. What you need is a specific tool, a tool that lets you intentionally plug into that wiser, calmer part of yourself, especially when things get stressful. And here it is. This is the missing element right from the book's title, Gaam-Node. It's a Thai term that means to set the condition to know. Now, listen to that language. This isn't just passively observing. It's an action. It's a deliberate, intentional choice that you make.
Let's break this down a little bit. Gaam-Node, that part means to direct your mind, to intend something, to mark it with purpose. And Ru, this isn't some fuzzy, vague kind of knowing. This is a crystal clear, doubt-free awareness. So what this all boils down to is that you are actively setting an intention to know something clearly and without a doubt.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? How do we go about, setting this condition in our own minds?
Well, you can really see the difference when you put them side by side. On the one hand, you've got passive awareness, which often feels kind of foggy, uncertain, and that's when doubt and fear can just creep right in. But Gaam-Node, on the other hand, is intentional, it's clear, and the book explains that this clarity actually connects you to what it calls your good nature, which creates this real inner strength that just isn't there when you're only watching your thoughts go by.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we're setting a condition to know something, well, what is that something? What are we supposed to be placing our awareness on so clearly?
The book gives us a bunch of really concrete examples of anchors we can use. It could be a simple physical sensation, like the breath at your nose or the feeling of your feet on the floor. It could be your heartbeat, or even an emotion like gratitude. It could even be a point of tension, like in your neck. The key thing, and this is the big insight from the book, is that whatever you choose, it has to be a clear and continuous signal, something real, tangible that you can really connect with.
So what happens when you start doing this? When you actually practice setting the condition to know? Well, it's pretty incredible. It sets off this powerful, positive chain reaction inside you.
The book describes it as this natural unfolding. The moment you set the condition, boom, something called the knowing mind just arises. This in turn opens the door for what the book calls a pure energy, or punya, to flow into your system. And that pure energy naturally, without you doing anything else, just starts to clear out all that mental smog. The cravings, the irritations, the worries, all the stuff that keeps us feeling stuck.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. You don't force any of this to happen. You're not gritting your teeth, trying to force yourself to be calm or think positive thoughts. All you're doing is creating the right inner environment, the right condition, and the rest just unfolds all on its own. It's about creation, not force.
All right, this all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how do we take this amazing concept and actually bring it into our messy, busy, everyday lives? Well, the book offers these really simple, totally doable tips. You can use those little moments between tasks, when you hang up the phone or close your laptop, to just set the condition for one single breath. When you're walking to your car, just for a second, bring your attention to the feeling of your feet on the pavement. Before you jump in to speak, notice the feeling in your chest. These are tiny opportunities to practice Gaam-Node all day long.
And I really want to leave you with this final thought, because for me, this quote is a total game changer. It reframes the whole practice. Look, your mind is going to wander. You are going to forget. That's a guarantee, but that is not a failure. In fact, that exact moment when you remember, that's the moment the practice begins again. It's never about perfection, it's about gently, purposefully returning again and again. So the real question isn't whether you'll get distracted, but how many times you're willing to just begin again. We'll dig deeper into this next time as we explore how this practice helps us understand the three natures that drive us.